What's up, YouTube? I'm gonna do another reaction video to what I think is a hot topic right now. It's that Netflix documentary about Cleopatra. They casted a black actress to play the role, and I think people are having mixed views on the situation itself. Not mixed views, but I think it has upset a lot of people on both sides. I think specifically with this video here, we have a Egyptian citizen, I think a historian that's greatly upset by it. Then we have like an activist, or I guess a professor. I'm thinking that's an activist in America and how they agree with this depiction of Cleopatra. I don't have the details. I didn't see the video yet, but I think from my last video, a lot of people are giving me different information about Cleopatra, whether she was or wasn't. For me, I tend to lean to the historical record that we have that associates her with the Greek culture or the Greek family lineage that she had. So for me, that's how I lean. But I'm not too sure exactly. I didn't do any research myself, so I'm not 100% secure on that idea. So I'm gonna watch this video. It's with Piers Morgan. I think he's interviewing an Egyptian person and an activist from a college in America, and they discuss things. So let's react. And I'll give you my general ideas and reaction to what they say. Here we go.
So is casting Cleopatra as a black woman culturally insensitive? Should we care? Isn't the job of an actor, after all, to act?
All right,
Well,
here we
joining
go.
me now is legendary Egyptian comedian Bassem Youssef and author of the case for cancel culture, Ernest Owens. Well, welcome to both
Okay,
of
an
you.
author.
Okay, let me start with you, Ernest Owens. Off you go.
Yeah, I think that this is ridiculous. I think that she is in full range to play Cleopatra. I think people should remember that there was controversy when the late
Okay.
great Elizabeth Taylor played
Okay, they're
Cleopatra, and
talking
people
about
thought that
specifically the
it was
actress
inaccurate
herself
for a
being
white woman
Cleopatra.
like her to play the character. History has said that there is some racial ambiguity around Cleopatra's identity. She's definitely not white, and I think to even assume
All
that
right.
Egyptians do not carry some level of African ancestry that can have
Hmm.
a darker skin complexion is also historically inaccurate. So I think she's more of the ideal of what Cleopatra would look like more than Elizabeth Taylor would be. And you didn't see as much backlash for Elizabeth Taylor playing
Okay.
Cleopatra
Yeah,
compared to that.
that's a fair point. So let me go to you, Bassem.
Okay.
I mean, that is a fair
Doesn't
point.
sound too
Liz Taylor
fair.
was the biggest movie star in the world at the time she played Cleopatra. She was not Egyptian. What's the difference?
Well, first of all, this was Hollywood before it was informed. This is where 1961, when
Yeah, it's a different
Cleopatra by
time. That's what I was
Elizabeth, we're not
thinking.
crazy about Elizabeth Taylor playing Cleopatra
Yeah, no
either.
one
That was
likes
also
Elizabeth
inaccurate. I don't
Taylor
know where
playing
do you get the idea that we're
Cleopatra.
happy that she
I think
played
the
the
Netflix
role. As a matter
documentary
of
is a
fact,
reaction to that
1961 Cleopatra
Cleopatra.
movie was banned in Egypt and many Arab countries
Oh, it was
because
banned
of
in Egypt too.
Elizabeth Taylor's stance towards the state of Israel because he was supported them. So I don't know where does he kind of get this information. Second of all, this is the same Hollywood that in 1956 they cast John Wayne as Genghis Khan.
Oh
So
yeah,
this is a
John
time where
Wayne.
Hollywood
John
is
Wayne
now
was an
way ahead.
Asian person
Now,
back
the
then.
problem for me is not about
They used to
color.
put tape
It's
on
not about
Asian
white
people's
and black. This is
eyes
a very
in those
reductive way
movies.
to talk about things. This is the way
Oh no,
that
white
Americans
people's
talk
eyes.
about it. I'm very sorry. Like, I come from Egypt. Egypt has a very diverse color palette. People can look like me or they can look deeper skin tone like Anwar Sadat, who comes from a Nubian origin. It's not about black and white. It's about the continuous culture appropriation and falsification of history that has been done by what the so-called Afrocentrist movement. The Afrocentric movement started the last century as a way, in a good intention, to teach African American about their rich history of West Africa, the great empire of Benin, of Ghana, of Songhali, the great empire of Mali. But the thing is, that's why you find people like Kevin Hart, who subscribes to these theories, who claim that his ancestors built the pyramids. I'm sorry, your ancestors had their own wonderful civilization in West Africa. They are culture appropriating my culture, calling the people of in Egypt of today,
I can see his
despite their
point.
skin tone, that they call us as
Especially if that
invaders,
person, that's their
we call
culture,
them
Okay, but let
people
me.
taking it saying, you're not
intruders,
part of, that's not
and
yours,
they are
it's
being
mine.
erased
I
from
can see
our
the
own
offense there.
history.
Okay, I
This is
understand.
something that
Understand,
Hollywood
but
has done over the years.
I understand, but
Go
let me
ahead.
throw this back at you. There's this point that we've had so many cases now where people talk about appropriation with actors, be it their sexuality, be it their gender on occasion, be it whatever it may be. And ultimately, I always come back to one point, which is shouldn't actors do what their job description is? Act. I mean, shouldn't any actor be
Yeah,
able
I
to
think
play
that's true. If
any
they weren't
part?
calling
Actually, I mean, once you start making exceptions
this
to
film a
that rule, where do
documentary,
you
I would
stop?
agree with Piers Morgan here. Like, just let
Is that
it's
question for
fiction,
me?
but
Yeah.
they're trying to
Yeah, yeah. Well,
portray this
first of all, this
as
is not a
historical
work of
fact.
fiction. This is a documentary.
Yeah,
This is a documentary. There's a huge difference. This is not the Little Mermaid, which is like a fictional character where anybody can play anything. Cleopatra came from a Macedonian Greek origin, and the thing is, it's not about like the skin color. We don't care about if they're black or white. It's about how Hollywood is so culturally sensitive, and they're so sensitive about all kinds of minorities. But when it comes to my people, we seem to be erased. A couple of years ago, they announced that Gal Gadot, an ex-Israeli soldier who condones her government actions, the atrocities against Palestinian children,
yeah.
she was going to play Cleopatra.
That's
For me,
pretty
this is even a
offensive.
bigger insult. And Gal Gadot is not black. It's not about black and white. It's about this idea of Hollywood always
But she
stealing
is
the
an
culture
actress,
of my own
but
people.
yeah,
I
I
don't
see
care
his
what
point
Charleston
there.
Heston tells you in The Ten Commandments or Steven Spielberg tells you in The Prince of Egypt. But I am sorry, Jewish slaves did not build the Great Pyramid. This has been debunked many times by
Okay.
historians.
Huh?
Let me
So
Jewish
the thing
slaves,
is
I
that
never
we are
heard
the
that
only
before.
people who are not
Yeah,
allowed
don't
to
talk
tell
over
our
each other.
own. We are the only people who are not allowed to talk about our own history.
All right, let
And
me bring. All
Hollywood
right,
is doing it
let
for
me.
us.
Okay,
I disagree.
hang on, Ernest. Let me ask you a question.
I
Ernest,
brought up some
which is,
points.
how would you feel if a white actor was chosen to play Nelson Mandela?
I think that there is historical inaccuracies there. I think that, I think what he's confusing is race and nationality. And I also think that that is why you don't see as many black actors upset as Cynthia Erivo, who is British, who played, Harriet, because we understand the nuances of racial identity compared to nationality versus the identity of the the diaspora. So no one's upset about the fact that David Onyalu played MLK. There may be some people, but others didn't because we understood the nuance of racial identity. So when we're talking about race and nationality, those are two different things. But I think the issue that I want to push back on what he said earlier is that there are other actors in this film that are playing Egyptians that do not look like Cleopatra or come from there. And I just feel like the energy being focused on Cleopatra is why some people are pushing back because this actress
No,
could
because
easily
the
look
movie, the
by
documentary is
identity,
called
looks
Cleopatra,
closer to
and
what
that's
Cleopatra
the
looked
glaring
like.
flaw
But
people
the rest
see.
of that
No one
cast
knows the
is
other
fairly
actors who they
white,
are,
and
who
you're
they're
not
playing.
saying
So,
anything about those individuals.
so
You're only
that's
focused on
that's a bad
Cleopatra being played by
argument
this
there.
black
I have to
actress.
say
When you look
by
at the other cast,
her
I
or
don't
them.
think they're all
Whatever.
Egyptian. I don't think they all represent the cast.
All right, let me.
So I
All
think
right, let me bring in.
It's
Okay,
kind of
let
she's
me
kind
bring
of
back Bassem.
diverting
I
the
mean, if this
argument
was
to
in a
avoid
theatre production,
answering the guy's question.
I could imagine this happening
Absolutely.
without people creating much of a fuss. Is it because it's a Hollywood movie and Hollywood's put itself in the vanguard
No,
of
it's
cultural
about
appropriation?
it's a documentary. Hollywood
Yeah,
has been erasing my
I
people
think that's
from
the key thing.
we
They
have
called it a
not allowed to tell
documentary.
our
If they
own
called it
history.
like some
And I'm sorry,
movie,
I have to disagree with the
then they
gentleman.
can do
It's not
whatever
about
they want. I wouldn't really
it's
care
not
that
just
much.
Cleopatra. Everybody in that movie, her
They
court,
want to portray
everybody
this
who's
as
supposed to be
as
Egyptian,
fact.
they look like they came from West Africa, from the south of the Sahara. We, as Egyptians, are being called intruders and invaders in our own culture. This has been going on systematically. I don't want to wake up one day and find a museum of the African American culture and history claiming the stolen Egyptian artifacts in the British Museum to be theirs. And now I'm hearing that Zendaya, the very popular actor, who I would love her to play it, but Zendaya ethnically is half Nigerian, half German, and now she's going to play. Where are the Egyptian actors? Where are the Arab actors who supposed it? And the thing is, even like historically wise, you see
I gotta push
trailer
back here
that
because I
don't
think
care
like
what-
just
what
if you
you-
look
what
like
they
the
told you,
person,
but
I wouldn't care
Cleopatra was black. Who's
about their
that woman?
historical
Why is African
background because you
American
limit
people
the
are telling
range
my
of
own
actors
history?
that can
She
play
is
the
there-
roles if
there's
they have to
all
be
of
that
these
that
pseudoscience and
nationality. So
pseudo-history
if they
has
just
been
look like the
going on, and
character,
it
that's
has
fine.
implications. No, I am sorry. African people from West Africa did not build the pyramids.
Okay.
Cleopatra did not like that, and also Jewish people do not build the pyramids.
Okay.
It is time for Hollywood to listen to the people who own that history. So
Well,
we
you've
can
made that.
And
You've
just one,
made that.
Why is she so shocked by
Bassem,
that?
I've
I
got
don't
to
think
leave it
there's
there.
enough information to tell
Egypt,
who built
Egypt
at
had
least
30
the
dynasty over
core pyramids. I know
2700
the
years.
other
We had
tombs
kings
that were
and
built by
queens
the
from
lesser Egyptian
Kingdom of
empires.
Kush,
There's more
from Nubia,
information known.
from Libya. This area had
There's a lot of
bled
mystery
into
around the
each other and
pyramids, so it's
expanded and
nothing
shrunk
dramatic.
into each other. I understand exactly what I mean when I say nationality
Okay.
or heritage or ethnicity.
You both,
so I'm
made,
sorry,
your,
like,
you both made your points
yeah,
strongly.
thank you.
It's an interesting debate. Thank you both very much indeed.
All right, I think that was an interesting debate. I think, although I disagree with some points from the Egyptian historian and the professor, author, whatever, the activist author, I think I lean more towards at least the Egyptologist. I think he presented more accurate points. Although I don't agree with his point that actors have to be of that race and ethnicity if they look like the character. I know it's like the situation with Scarface, Al Pacino. He wasn't Cuban or anything like that, but he looked like a Cuban person. So it didn't really matter. A lot of the people there were Jewish, but a lot of the actors in that movie were Jewish. They could have had a few Cuban people, but I think they looked like Cuban people that Cuban people identified with. I think you need to choose the best actor for that role. That's more important than their nationality, ethnicity. I think you're it's kind of reductive to only choose someone because they have the similar nationality as this character. So that's where I greatly disagree with him there. It's about the skill first and foremost. You have the skill to play the role. You should get the role. But after that, I think with the activists themselves, I think they kind of just diverted some of the topic. I feel like I think for the most part, her argument was kind of limiting. I think it just said we feel this is good and we like that presentation of the character, and they kept leaning on that this was a movie when the directors, the filmmakers, they're presenting this as historical fact and a documentary, as something that should be taken as a record of history. So that's where with Egyptian Egyptologist, I forget his career or what his role exactly is, but that's where I agree with him there that they're presenting this as historical record. So his pushback is strong, and I respect that from him because I wouldn't want anyone erasing my culture. But I think for the most part, I think there's a balance here. I think the directors should just present this as like this is a movie. This is our interpretation. We can do anything we want, and you can do anything you want with movies. So I would accept that from them. Not that they have to listen to me. I'm just a random person on YouTube, but still, I think that's my perspective. Share your thoughts. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I can be wrong. I don't have a lot of information on this. I'm just giving my straight opinion from the top of my head. I don't know too much about the situation. But give me some thoughts, ideas. If you have any videos that counter my arguments, I'm willing to react to those. But leave a comment, and I'm looking forward to see what people say. I liked the last comment tree that from the other video, and I'm interested in seeing some links to some reactions and some comments. So I'm looking forward to that, and see you next video.